Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got Elijah with me today. Max may join
Where's
us a little
everybody?
later, and yeah, I know Max
Where's
might join us a
Max?
little later.
Where's Jason?
He's got stuff. Jason's down in San Diego doing family stuff, so it's just the two
Well,
of
I
us
was gone
leading right
last
now.
weekend. I was gone last
Yeah,
Sunday, so I guess now it's
well
my
that's okay.
time to get all
We
the
didn't go. Yeah, yeah, we didn't go live last
get all the
Sunday.
time while
I
no one's gone.
had some stuff
Oh,
going
you
on,
didn't go
so
live
yeah.
last Sunday.
I didn't go live last Sunday. Yeah, no, I had some stuff I was
Oh,
running around for, so it was
oh,
okay.
okay.
It's
Well
all
then,
good. So yeah, we've kind
I
of
didn't
skipped a
miss
week, but
anything.
I've built up a little bit of news and little bits and pieces that have been going on. What's been going on with you, Elijah? Anything much?
I mean, I went to Vegas last weekend, which I was gonna end
Okay.
up. I was gonna go. Originally, I was gonna go tomorrow, but I
Mm-hmm.
changed my plans because how
Yeah.
things worked out. But I went to the Punk Rock Museum finally.
Right.
And now they have one of my miniatures. They have one of the
Oh, cool.
CBGB miniatures. So
Right.
I'm just waiting. They're doing things on their own time, just like everybody else. Just you
Fair
know,
enough.
like I can't. I was in the hopes that like things were gonna like progress while I was there, and like they'd
Mm-hmm.
put it like up on display or something while I was there, but that didn't
Right.
happen. But they have it, and now I have to wait for them to like. I think they just have to go by a committee and go by a group of people and decide
Right.
exactly what they're going to do with it. It
Gotcha.
most likely it's just going to go in their retail shop
Mm.
and not go on consignment. I thought they were going to like list it and then they'd pay me if it sells, but I think they're just going to put it on display with a tag saying
Gotcha.
if you interested in this, you can get it.
Okay.
With a QR code or link them to a website or to my Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So waiting for more of
Cool.
that, but it was
And for
decent.
anyone
I
out
was
there
there for
who,
2 days, and
yeah, anyone out there who doesn't know, this is all miniature models that Elijah does,
I hope
and
I hope they know by now. We've got like
yeah.
I
Well,
think our core
we get different
audience. I would
people.
hope that they would know.
We get different people listening at different times and stuff like that. Some people don't always know, and I
any new
talk to them
people,
sometimes. Yep.
any new people. I make these
Yep.
little miniature models. They're all
Yeah.
music related locations.
Uh
This
huh.
is a CBGB's, but I have other locations. But
Right.
um,
And that's
miniatures
the
and
ones out
dioramas
there
are
in
really
Las Vegas.
popular now.
That's the one
This
that's out there in
one of
Las
them.
Vegas right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of these.
Hmm.
Each one I'm making is slightly different, or a slightly different look to the front of the building,
Cool.
different time period, or different flyers or posters in the wall, or
Right.
stickers in the wall, or whatever. So
Uh
each
huh.
one's slightly different. So each one's unique.
Right.
Um, but yeah, all the miniatures I do are of all of music related
Cool.
locations for
Cool.
the line that I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
that was
I've been.
good, and I
Yeah.
was right next
Yeah.
to
That's cool.
this MSM. I was right next to the Sphere. The hotel that I was at was right next to
Okay.
the MSA Sphere, or whatever it
Oh,
is.
the sphere. Oh,
The,
you. Yeah. What does
the
it look like? Did you take any footage or anything?
I
Photos?
took footage, and now that I regret because I saw it straight from my hotel, not straight from the
Yeah.
hotel room, but like it was clear, it was there, and I could see it from parts of the hotel, or
Right.
getting to my room or whatever. And I
Yeah.
regret not just walking over there and just sitting in front of it and just watching a whole cycle go. But they were
Yeah.
like they're still testing it. Sometimes it was on,
Sure.
sometimes it was off.
Right.
But really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
it illuminated during the day was
Yeah.
just as clear as it would be at
Is
night.
it
Like
night?
it's
Yeah.
kind of insane how clear it is during the day, and
Yeah.
that at night, like if it's off, you can't see it at all. It's like you don't. It's like
Right.
it's gone, and then as soon as it comes
Right.
back on, you're like, what the,
Huh.
And there was, I don't know, hundreds to thousands different of views or
Hmm.
images on there.
Images. Yeah.
There's just every time I looked at there was something
I
different.
I can't wait till the day that they actually create a Death Star out of that thing, and they actually put like lights and
I
lights up like the Death Star.
I'm sure if they don't, I'm sure
Don't
they're
do it.
already
Do
working on that. If it's
Lucasfilm.
not already
Mm.
programmed into it, like I
Yeah.
don't see why it wouldn't be,
Yeah.
because there
It's
was an
it's something
Earth one.
Lucasfilm should definitely jump on.
There was the moon. There was Earth. There was
Mm.
Mars.
Yep.
There was a constellation globe. There was a
Hmm.
giant eyeball. There
Yeah.
was just
The
different
eyeball is
shapes and
freaky. It's
pat.
creepy.
Yeah, and it looks really good, and it blinks,
Uh-huh.
and it looks in different directions and everything.
Right. Right.
Um, but that was definitely cool. I do regret not walking
Hmm.
right next to it or very close
Yeah,
outside and like
yeah,
just checking it out. But
that's cool.
that was cool.
Awesome.
Nothing else in Vegas is
Yeah,
interesting to me. So
I know.
I walk around the strip a
I'm
little
so
bit.
tired of
It-
Vegas. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. I mean, I've gone only a handful of times, but this was the one time I was kind of like by myself, and I was just like, "This is." I
Hmm.
mean, I wasn't on a weekend. I was like on a Sunday
Right.
and
Yeah,
Monday, and it just was like, just
yeah,
you know, was not appealing to me at all,
yeah.
other
Well,
than the punk rock museum, which I went for.
yeah, yeah. That's cool. Well, as you know, I've been collecting some of the Micro Galaxy Squadron miniatures, and one of the things I've been playing around with recently is I'm trying to build the interior of a Imperial docking bay because they're releasing the Imperial shuttle soon, and so I've been actually playing around building sections of it and coming together with this model piece, and
Nice.
just so this is all 3D printed on resin print, so just sitting there and
And you
trying to.
already know that that scale is going to work for the scale that you're working in. Do you know what
Oh
scale it
yeah,
is?
yeah, it's pretty
Or are you
close.
guessing?
Well, this is involving a little bit of guesswork. Hang on, let me put this next to it again.
And wait a
But
minute, you 3D
this
printed that.
this
So if
is
how easily could you how
this is
easily
the
could
size of
you
Trooper right there.
change the size of the print
Oh, I just have to
without? Could
scale
you
it up.
just?
Yeah,
That would be
I just
really
have to.
easy.
Yeah, I just have to
Change it.
drag it up or drag it down depending on the size of
Mm.
what I can fit on my printer bed. But it's actually pretty close. I mean, the reality is these ships and these vehicles are all pretty tiny, and I was going
Does
off
it
of
tell
the
you what
actual
scale it is
image.
though? Like, does it actually tell you is it
You know
one
what? I don't.
48th or
I
one
could tell
12th
you
or?
that. Well, I don't know. These little figures here, they are 1 inch tall. So they've put everything that the size of a human, an average, I guess, 6 foot human is about one. It was is 1 inch tall. So that's what the scale
Okay.
is to all their vehicles. So in comparison it with photographs from the Death Star, I actually kind of guesstimated a scale for this,
Got to be like
and it's
1/64th or
kind of
something.
I don't even know what size that is actually. Yeah, I have no clue. But anyway, that's something I've been playing around with. Um, I actually did manage to also get down to San Diego Comic Con last week. A friend of mine was
I
traveling
know you
down there.
went with that.
Spare
Should
at
have
the
gone with you.
moment. It was spare of the moment, like
Should have gone with
morning
you.
of, and I just like screw it, and then I caught the bus back in the end. It's not the bus, the train back now that it's working again. And I went down for a morning basically, and then came back in the late afternoon. But yeah,
I
several
wanted to go for
things.
Wednesday night, but I
Yeah,
didn't end up going. I mean, Wednesday night
right.
is preview night. It's like when it's
Yeah,
like the least busy, but I just
yeah.
getting, I would have been
Well,
going by myself because I just had the one pass, and
mm,
that would have been the
yeah.
day before you. So
Well, yeah. If my friend had an extra pass there that I was available for on the Thursday, so I was like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I'm glad I did because they actually ended up by having a massive Star Wars Lucasfilm display of Ahsoka, and they actually had like the Ahsoka Tano's actual costume on display. They had
oh, nice.
Sabine Wren's helmet, which was really cool to see. They also had a full-size chopper droid there on display, which was pretty cool to see. There's a lot more movement in Chopper, I think, than what they've done in R2D2 in the past, because Chopper has all these arm pieces that come out, especially from the side of his head.
And his head
He's
wiggles and
also
stuff,
and
right?
his head wiggles as well, left and right. So he's got all
Yeah,
those
like a
different movement.
nodding, a tilting, nodding.
Yeah, yeah. The satellite dish also moves and pops up and all that. I don't know if they're doing that in post, but excuse me. But then the other thing they had was they had the entire wall, the painted Sabine Wren wall that we see at the end of Rebels there,
Oh, the whole mural.
and yeah, complete size mural. This thing is humongous. It's about
That's
probably about
cool. You
16
got a good
feet
shot there
tall.
with like nobody in it and that one dude.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Like,
actually
get out of the
well,
way, guy.
people moving back and forth. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but yeah, this thing is big. Like this is kind of like shows you the scale of it. It
Uh,
was really cool to see that. But yeah, this is some photos of some of the models that they had in the series, which we'll be seeing checking out next week. They had a whole pile of lightsabers on display. They've got Ahsoka Tano's double pair of lightsabers, of course. This is Ezra's lightsaber. Ezra leaves at the end of Rebels. You probably don't know this, but Ezra leaves his lightsaber with Sabine Wren before he goes off on this kind of not suicide mission, but the event that took him out of the galaxy, basically, or took him out of not to the dark regions, wherever it is he gets taken to. We don't really know. So actually seeing Ezra's lightsaber was kind of a cool thing. We also had Balin's lightsaber. He's the new Sith guy. Well, I assume he's Sith. Again, we don't know too much about him. And then they also had on display their Shin. She's the assistant to Balin, or the apprentice to Balin. And then there was also an Inquisitor lightsaber. Marok is the name of the Inquisitor, apparently. Someone new, I believe. But this was kind of cool seeing the Inquisitor lightsaber. It's very thin. Like, this thing is extremely narrow. Other things they had there, they had on display a miniature of Ahsoka's ship.
That's Ahsoka's ship?
This is Ahsoka's ship, yeah. The actual wing, the long wing, turns on its side. So that
slides. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you actually... Huh? It lands...
I was going to say, how does she land? But it goes flat, whatever.
It goes flat. Yeah, it goes flat to land. Yes, exactly, yeah. It just looks really cool. Like, it was a really cool model. This thing's about 2 feet tall, so it's a really good size model.
And that's a model, not a toy.
This is a miniature model.
Not
Yeah,
no,
this is actually the miniature model that I had on display there. I was only down for like half a day, so I didn't get the chance to see a lot, but I really kind of hung out around this thing. Now, they had a Lothcat there. This is Sabine Wren's Lothcat, which is... We see some CGI versions in The Mandalorian, but this one's a full-on puppet. And I think it's the first full puppet animatronic that they've actually made from that, which is really sweet. And then I jumped across to Micro Galaxy Squadron, and they had like all these new ships on displays. This is like their AT-AT. They're so cool. Like the detail in these are all in scale with each other. So all these ships really are the proper scale, from a Snowspeeder to an AT-AT Walker. So they had them on display. They had a few exclusives there. But it was, yeah, again, cool stuff. What else did I have there? Oh, look at it. Yeah, they're making the toy of the Staff of Ra. Hasbro line, that is. And then this was another model maker that actually had some of his stuff on display. He actually built Dexter's Diner from Episode 1, which was very, very nicely done, actually. He also built sections of the brick from... This
You're still stuck on the one model. I'm only saying one thing here. You're still stuck on the one...
What do you mean?
You're still stuck on Ahsoka, that's all I see.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know. I just see just Ahsoka's ship.
Oh,
I don't see
are you sure? Okay.
Unless you're moved to another photo.
No. I should be going... I don't think I've... Am I lagging at all or not?
There you go. Now it's off the screen.
Okay.
But I didn't see what the other image that you showed. If you showed something... Oh, there you go.
Cat?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that didn't come up.
That didn't come up? Weird.
Nope.
Okay. Well, it was coming up on my end, so I'll just show it again. But yeah, this is the Lothcat, the miniature Lothcat. Then they had this is all the
That's cool.
stuff. Yeah, this is...
And that's one they used in the show. That looks like it could be animated.
What? Oh, no, this is actually the toys. This is actually... Oh, sorry, the cat?
That's a toy? That's not an animatronic that's used in the show?
Wait. We're talking about the cat? Or we're talking about the...
Yeah, we're talking about the cat.
Okay, because I jumped past the cat and you missed
I'm not
it.
freezing. It's moving fine. I think it's your end is moving either slow or quick or something. I'm asking if that is a toy or if that is one of the animatronics.
This is
used
the
in
animatronic cat that they use in Ahsoka. We see it briefly in the trailer. It looks like it's Sabine Wren's cat. But then I jumped...
duck feet.
Yeah, yes, yeah. It has. It's kind of cool. And then... then I jumped across to the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. These were the Micro Galaxy Squadron displays.
These are new figures that have come out? Or you already have these ones?
These are all new. I did pick up the AT-AT Walker, but there's a few other ones that they've got out there too, which is really cool. And then...
Why don't we get jobs to build those things, man?
Oh, it'd be so cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
where are those? How do we get those jobs to build these displays? That's what I want to know. Like who,
yeah.
where, who's, who, why,
Uh-huh.
what, and why? How come? That's what I want to
Uh-huh.
know. Where do
Yep.
we have to go to get these displays?
Yeah.
I want to make those. What can't we be doing that?
And then going through, they also had this is the Hasbro Staff of Ra toy piece,
Oh, that
headpiece.
actually looks really good.
It actually looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have
Um,
Indiana Jones figures back there. I see Henry and
yeah.
Sala,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen those.
Yeah. They're on. This is the miniature. Are you
Uh,
seeing this miniature? Yeah. So somebody there was doing a display, the 6-inch
yeah.
scale miniature. Oh, you frozen?
Huh.
You there?
No.
Okay.
I'm here. I can hear you. I can see everything fine, other
your
than
your sound
the video,
delayed
the
there.
clip. The well, your photos are
Huh?
also coming up. Not your photos are coming up, not in order or slower or whatever. So
Okay, that's probably your end because you just lagged completely on your end. Your speech went all laggy. So anyway, this is another miniature that someone else had built there. They built uh, this is the from Andor.
hmm.
So yeah, that was kind of some of the cool stuff. Actually, I've got a little video here too. I was gonna pull up video file of I just edited together some of the stuff. So we'll play this for a bit.
And there's absolutely no sideshow booth. There was no booth at
Sideshow
all
went
for
up there. They
sideshow
did their entire thing online. Actually, I was going to show you
online. I
some of
know
the
I did
stuff
the
that
other
they.
thing long, but I'm surprised
Yeah,
they didn't even have like
they
something
didn't
like
have a
a
booth.
booth or
Nope,
something.
nothing at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, this was really kind of a cool. It was really pretty cool actually. This thing was pretty big. It was about the cat was about 2 feet long, so it was quite a big
Hmm.
piece, big animatronic puppet. I can't wait to see it actually in motion and properly moving. See what they do with it and how they make it work. But yeah, you're right. They made like duck feet or very web feet. It was like this is kind of cool.
Yeah, like a chicken or a duck or something
Hmm.
weird.
Yeah, and this is the model. This is someone behind it. It gives you an idea of the scale of how big this model was. And then these are just other stuff, things, bits and pieces I saw there. They had some Lego stuff for Ahsoka as well, which is kind of cool with the Ghost and Ahsoka's T6 ship there. But yeah, I mean,
And the
it
ghost is
was
whose ship is the ghost?
it's Hera's ship, and then they had this animatronic
Okay.
baby Yoda, Grogu.
Oh, that's
That's
like the billion
yeah,
dollar.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No one can afford the
Well, it's
blinking
someone built one, and I
Grogu.
saw it. I saw them promote it last year, but it's the first time I'd seen it live in person. It actually like it had a repeating move after about like 45 seconds. It repeated the same moves, but it had some really good,
Yeah,
nice movement. The hand would shake, and the head would, the eyes and all that. It was kind of cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, no. Hot Toys were not there. Or should I say, Sideshow were not there, but they definitely had their thing online. And actually, one of the things I picked up this week was the Cad Bane. Yeah, I ordered it like a year ago, so it took about a year and a bit to get made. But this is the Cad Bane Hot Toys of with him and his droid, which I did an unboxing. So if you want to check that out, that's on part of our channel kind of thing. But yeah, that was kind of fun. Then yeah, so let's jump into some of the other news anyway. So let's see what else has been going on this week. Um, oh, actually, there it is. Yeah. So basically, Across the Spider Verse has been pushed back. Originally, it was coming out in I think March or April of next year, but they haven't got a release date for it now. Sony have pushed back a lot of their movies. Uh, just because of the writer strike and all that sort of stuff, and it's been a bit, basically, what was it? Oh yeah, Ghostbusters is getting pushed back into next year sometime, but they don't
Yeah.
have a release date. And then Kraven the Hunter. This is the big one. Kraven the Hunter was going to be released in October of this year, and it's being released in August of next year. And for them to push such a
Almost
far
a full
distance
year.
ahead, it's a full year. It's like,
It's like Flash.
yeah,
I mean, Flash they brought out like almost 2 years, a year and a half
but
after it was supposed to come
but
out.
that was
Crazy.
because of COVID.
I know,
But
I know,
but
but I'm just
Craven,
saying, still
yeah,
the time. I'm not
yeah,
talking about
sure,
the worldly reasons or whatever. I'm just talking about like
yeah,
actual like time period of like how
oh yeah,
people were waiting for something. I mean, I bet the Flash would have done better if they released it on digital, like when it was supposed to be. It was just
maybe
on
it still
HBO
wasn't that
Max,
good,
like when it
but
came out.
yeah,
Like I'm just saying,
maybe,
the longer the
yeah,
wait, people just stop caring after a point.
sure,
It's like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been waiting for so long, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't kind of really care much about Craven the Hunter. I mean, I
I
don't have
mean,
any
nobody does.
interest.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
for like a property like that, they just like
mm,
just release it. Like no one's
mm,
dying to see this movie. It's like
yeah.
why hold that one back?
Well, I think they're holding back personally because I think they're going to have to do reshoots because apparently, well, I don't know. Apparently, I mean, it sounds like reshoots might be a big issue, and of course, they can't shoot anything without actors and without writers to reshoot the writing, rewrite the shoots. So,
Right.
that's also a possibility. But I mean, the same thing though with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is the third, well, Beyond the Spider-Verse. No wait, sorry, yeah, Beyond the
Beyond the Spider
Spider-Verse
Verse.
is the third film,
Yeah.
but they haven't put a release date on it yet. Which means I'm hoping it gets released 2024, but there's a good chance they may wait till 2025. Who knows? It depends on how close to being finished it is. It gives them an
Right.
opportunity to kind of clean anything up, but man, I'm looking forward for that film too. Other things that were going on, they dropped a poster for Loki season 2 this week.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I I mean I enjoyed the first Loki, but let's talk about Secret Invasion for a bit. Did you catch up with the last episode, Elijah?
Yeah.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
didn't get
I don't
anything
know
was
what's
going on
happened.
there.
I don't know what's happened with Marvel. There. It just felt forced and rushed, and it didn't have. I don't know. It. They built up these. You're all going to be surprised. You're all going to be shocked. You're all going to be whatever of how this plays out. It's like this played out like any other Marvel film or TV show right now, and it's just it's I wish the writers could put a bit more emphasis on comic book lore, I guess is the way to put it, because it's like we're just not getting that. It just seems pasted together is that thought. What are your thoughts on Secret Invasion
I mean,
as a whole?
other
As a
than the
whole,
first ep- other than the first episode, like the first
yeah,
episode was fairly decent. It was action packed, and like you
yeah,
know, uh, had you something going at the end or whatever. But
yeah,
everything after that was kind of just like I don't even really remember what happened, and just dragging
mm-hmm,
along the story.
yeah,
And they didn't do as much with the scrolls as you think they would, and what they did do
right,
with them was odd.
yeah,
It's weird that you know uh, Nick Fury is married to a scroll and has been married to a scroll this whole time, and
mm-hmm,
that didn't make any
yeah,
sense to me. Um, and the
yeah.
whole thing, whatever the super scrolls at the end, where they have all the powers of everybody, that was like, why?
That was just
Why would you do
yeah.
that? Why
Why
that doesn't
waste
make any sense? It's not cool.
and
It's
just
not
to have
interesting. It's like we've seen
yeah,
just have a fight. It
yeah.
just have to fight. It's just like not. I don't know.
I the idea of
It seems
having
like
that kind of
throwing
technology
away.
seems
Right.
ludicrous. It just seems ludicrous
Yeah.
to have that kind of technology existing. These things would be the most powerful beings in the freaking universe at this point.
Yeah, they would be like ultra
And
gods. Like if they could
yeah,
have the powers of like all these different
hmm
heroes, and I
yeah,
don't know if it's like, oh, I only get one power for every 5 seconds, like because
yeah,
she's changing powers like every couple of minutes. You're like,
yeah.
are they just doing this just so they can use a bunch of like digital effects, or like and it
Yeah,
looked weird. She's running around with one giant arm, and she's
yeah,
like 5'2" and
yeah,
98 pounds, and it just not believable. Like if she's
yeah,
gonna be a scroll, she might as well like hulk up into some giant creature versus
yeah,
being like a little petite girl with a giant
yeah,
arm. It just what didn't feel.
yeah.
It didn't feel the realism like went
It
out the
was
window.
laughable. Yeah, it was
It
laughable.
was
It was
laughable.
yeah,
It didn't
yeah,
feel real. It didn't like if they're
hmm
gonna do something like that, like
yeah,
they didn't make it believable. They made it like
yeah.
ridiculous, basically.
So
And the whole point
just
of the whole scroll thing, it's just like that we had a whole series about scrolls. I mean, that was basically
yeah,
about scrolls. It was like Nick
sure.
Fury was like a side story to it.
Yeah, and I
I
have
don't know.
zero interest towards those what they are, how they exist, and why they exist
It
in the universe. They
doesn't
just
even matter.
they
I mean, when they're taking
as a
like Rhodey out,
hmm,
when they're taking the other characters out of the pods at the end that like
right.
have been like captured or whatever, it's like
Yeah.
now you're just resetting everything to like where it didn't matter. Like
Hey
now
there,
this
Anchorman.
doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
you're the ending to that basically is like, well, don't worry about this whole series because we're just kind of like resetting everything
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning. Rhodey's
Yeah.
not Rhodey's not a scroll. He's just been locked up in this chamber the whole time. It's like,
All the way since Civil War, apparently. So he doesn't even know that Tony Stark is dead at this point.
oh, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch
Well,
that. I
yeah,
didn't know how
but
long he's been
he
captured.
yeah, but he couldn't walk. Remember, he lost his legs in Civil War, so it would have been shortly after Civil War because he was able to. He had all these
Mm.
surgery pieces done, apparently to make his body work again, which of course was all scroll oriented. I'm guessing at that point. So the fact that you've got Rhodey without being able not being able to walk means that
It just
he
makes it
kind
weird.
of
It
dates
makes it
back
hard
to
to
that point where
it
he
makes it
lost
hard
his
to track
legs.
of like yeah, it makes it hard to track of like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
when did how
And
long
they
has he
also
been a scroll?
they
When
didn't tell us anything, so they left it up to the imagination.
right.
It's like, oh God, just give us a
And the whole
point and take.
with
Make it
previously seeing
purposeful.
that
Yeah,
right. Previously seeing that
yeah,
Nick Fury had a scroll or someone posing
yeah.
as him, and he was, it's like, well, what's, now just like anybody could be a scroll at any time.
Well,
It
that's
just
it. Yeah,
wasn't,
and
it just wasn't
yeah,
interesting. Like they didn't make it
yeah,
clear to like,
yeah,
this is when this is happening, this is when that was happening. Like, you know,
yeah.
they, that's part of what I didn't like. It was harder to track and harder to know like
Right.
when things were,
Yeah, yeah.
when that was
No,
all coming
it.
together.
That's it. It kind of it. Yeah, they were so indistinctive with information, and again, it's like you could have had a very
When
you could have had a touching you could have had a really touching moment that Rhodey gets taken out, and you could have had uh, Nick Fury go up to him and go, "Listen, I'm sorry, but Tony's dead." Just get a reaction. Do something that actually
yeah,
that can actually pay off an emotional beat to this show. And something tells
yeah,
me anything of the information he's going to learn about Tony Stark is going to be off camera. So it's going to mean nothing to us in the future that he's been captured all this time and that his entire life missed the blip and missed this and that. And it's like because he would have been in there for the blip as well. So
right,
it just is yeah. Make
yeah.
it yeah. Yeah.
It just seems like a standalone thing. Like
Yeah.
you can almost forget it and put it out of your mind. It's like I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know
Yeah.
when Nick Fury had the time to have a wife, like during all this period. Like
hmm
the
Yeah.
during the blip and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's got
Yeah.
time to go now see this wife and have a cup of tea and a coffee with
hmm
her and then take off. And like
Yeah.
they never
That's
really have
it. Yeah. Yeah.
a
He's been in
romantic
space
relationship.
for the
They just
last
kind of
whatever.
like he just pops
Well,
into the kitchen. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
here, I'll come into the kitchen, have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like I've been here, and like we've
Yeah.
been around, and then like take off again, and like when did you
Yeah.
have time for this?
Yeah.
Like this lady is like,
But then,
she only turns into a human figure when you walk in the door. Otherwise, she's walking around
yeah.
the house like a scroll. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
weird,
I know.
weird.
Yeah. No,
And then he like
it,
the weird. He was kissing a scroll at the end. He's like smooch. He's like, yeah, girl, I'll see you later. And he's kissing the scroll.
well, I mean, come on. It's
I'm
Nick
sure there's
Fury.
some
Yeah.
footage behind the scenes footage.
Uh-huh.
Like y'all want me to kiss this alien right now? Action! Oh man, he's got to do it because he's getting
But
paid for it.
yeah. But end of the day, yeah, I was disappointed, and that does kind of provoke a little bit of fear as to where Loki season 2 is going to go. because I don't know if we're going to end up by advancing anything, because all the events that took place in Loki season one never really truly got in- interconnected into the future movies as a result of what he did there, for example.
Well, all
Because
these shows have different showrunners and different writers,
yeah, I
right?
know,
Like, do we know that the same writers are coming back
but
for the second season of Loki, or like,
I'm
seems
actually
like
not too sure.
these writers and
But it's
showrunners just get their, oh, you do what you want with this show,
That's it. It
and
feels like the
sometimes it just don't
overall
match up,
tie-in
right?
is nowhere near interlinked.
Feige is not like
Um,
is not it seems like the interconnectedness
yeah, that he had
is
in the
has
first
is dipped.
batch is gone. Is yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I agree.
and maybe
I
that's because
agree.
they have too much, or that too much to they're putting
Um,
together too much, or they think that they can work it out like at some point.
yeah, I just feel
Um,
like there needs to be more crossover elements of characters
right,
and stuff to make events. Do an entire thing where you're talking about the Avengers can't be brought in, and don't just say that they're, this is something for me to handle, as Nick Fury said in this series. Like,
yeah,
no, you created the Avengers because you wanted to bring them in when the planet was in danger. The planet is in
right,
danger. You've got
right,
scrolls. You can't just handle this by yourself. It's like it's a
right,
weak cop out on the writers element of
right.
two. What would we give the entire show out of
A-
10? I
Out of 10, from 1 to 10.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know,
I'd
a
probably
four,
give it. I was gonna say a four or a
a five,
five.
like right in the middle,
A
like
four,
right
maybe
in
a
the middle. It's
five.
like
I mean, it had some good
yeah,
moments in it, but
moments
there were just
scattered
moments.
through those, scattered
Yeah,
through them,
yeah,
scattered through
yeah,
6 episodes.
yeah. I got emotionally tied in with and invested in other shows I've done in the past more so than this one, and I'm becoming less and less invested, with the exception of Miss Marvel, which is one of the more recent ones that I felt invested in. But a lot of these other shows I'm not invested in. It's just it's sad. Anyway, we'll move on from Marvel at least for a bit here. Other stuff, other news, information. Wonka. Did you see this? You've seen the trailer for Wonka, right? You saw that?
Yes, yes, and now
Yeah,
they're
that's it.
also
Yeah.
with this. They're talking about the Snow
Oomp,
White and the Seven Dwarves, which are not
yeah.
dwarves. They're like uh, 6 adult men and 1 woman, or something like that.
Oh, really? Oh, so they're actually
Yeah,
not using dwarf? Oh my God. Yeah. See,
they're not dwarves. Like there's a whole other thing with the Snow White movie that they're doing. They're not
that.
dwarves. It's just Snow White,
Wow.
and there's
Really?
no Prince Charming and
Wow.
a bunch of other stuff.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
hadn't
well,
read
what are
that.
you doing?
But the
Yeah,
thing is, that this is right. You've got Oompa Loompas. They were played by dwarfs in the original film. You've got you've got an entire group of people there that are more or less not being looked at. Like George Lucas was the one who would bring in the dwarves for Ewoks, for Jawas, other characters, other things that were kind of cool
just
and creative and made it
just
relevant. Creature,
creatures,
yeah, exactly,
animators or puppeteers for
yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But but
R2D2,
but we
R2D2.
we get we
Come
get
on,
Hugh Grant stuck on a CGI body, and it's like, come on, seriously, guys. Yeah, you know, it's a bit much. I think they're getting too heavy with CGI these days. A lot of stuff. Um,
I don't know if it's CGI. I think just miscasting. Like
hmm,
I don't know what this inclusive thing is. I mean, I know what it is, but it seems
yeah,
like now they're going a little too far. I don't know what
yeah.
the point of using Hugh Grant to do that, unless it's maybe it's just Hugh Grant and
It's
there's
just
other characters that we haven't seen yet. But it
yeah.
seems like it's just
I
going
don't
to be a
know.
bunch of Hugh Grants. Like that's what they made it look like.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
Oompa Loompa is going to be Hugh Grant,
Could be. It could
like
be.
they did
Yeah.
in the last, like they
Hmm.
did in the Tim Burton one. It was all what's his name,
Yeah.
just a bunch of different versions of the one
Uh,
guy.
Little Roy. Is it Little Roy? Yeah. Little Roy? No.
Something Roy,
Something right. Roy. Yeah.
Buck
Anyway. Yeah.
Roy or
Yeah.
Jim Roy or whatever.
I enjoy it. I think he's a good
Um,
actor. See, yeah. Again, out of work actor because of CGI and Hugh Grant.
yeah,
Now you haven't seen Oppenheimer or Barbie, right?
no, I will
Okay.
eventually.
All right. Okay. So unfortunately, Max is not here because I would have bounced off of him a bit. But They're doing well. I mean, Barbie is poised to cross the 700 million globally this weekend. Oppenheimer is going to close around 400 million. That's kind of cool that you've got two films that are not sequels and not, kind of, you know, reproduction or remade films that are actually doing extremely well. And
I've actually wanted to see Oppenheimer, but every time
mm,
it's still sold out. Almost
yeah,
every
because you're
showing
trying
is
to get in.
still sold out.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been looking, but like
yeah,
the times that I have wanted to go, they're completely
yeah,
sold out. So I'm like, maybe I'll
yeah,
just wait another week or until like
mm,
whatever, It's like
yeah.
when I have a little
But
more extra money to go.
yeah.
Um,
This goes back to the conversation we had a few weeks ago. There is too many films dropping one week after the next. And all these films are very quickly getting pushed out. Like I can't see Oppenheimer now in a Dolby theater because it was only on for a week and it got pushed out by um what's the mansion one? Haunted
Haunted
Mansion,
Mansion.
which I saw by the way too this week. It was decent. It was actually good. It was worth checking out.
Hmm.
Worth checking out. As for Barbie, I saw it. I thought there was some really good messages. One of the cool things about what they did was they actually took ownership of stuff that they've done in the past that has feminized what their creation was about when they first created it. In other words, the very thin, sleek woman kind of look and not catering to other, other types of women, that sort of stuff. So they actually ended up by playing around with some of the I guess the controversy that comes with the Barbie toy, if that makes any sense, over
Yeah,
the years. And so I thought that was kind of very kind of brave of them to do and take that kind of ownership. And but it was fun. It was quirky. I think the director did a good job with the material. It just wasn't my kind of film. So at the end of the day, I enjoyed it for what it was. But here's the cool thing: the director. Oh wait, sorry, wrong one. Nope, wrong one again. Here we go. So Greta Gerwig is the director, and it has broken opening weekend record for a female director, and I think that's great
oh
too.
nice.
That's
Wow.
that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So I don't know if I've seen much of her work. I feel like I know the name for some reason, but I got to check and see what she's done. But she did a good job. I just wasn't my kind of film, if that makes sense.
That
As
makes
for
sense.
Oppenheimer,
It's a
yeah,
Barbie movie. It's like,
yeah, that's it. There's this. They were creative with what they had to work with. So for them to try and force a sequel, I don't know how that will go. The cast were good and everything. I mean, they all tend to work, kind of thing.
you think we'll get other movies based on toys that haven't that
That's what
hasn't
I
been made?
read.
I know
Apparently,
we
they
already have GI
are.
Joe, but like
No,
I'm sure they're working on other
no.
anything that Mattel has. They're working on
Mattel
like, oh well,
Mattel
now
have
we can
already
make a
said
movie of this.
that's it. Mattel said they're going to be very creative in the way they do their other films. So it's like, okay, they're going to make a Mattel universe, I guess, of
Oh
that sort
boy.
of thing. You know what? If it works, it works. I mean, it seems to work so far. This film's already doing well on the second. Hang on, sorry, second weekend. It's already made $90 million by the second weekend. Oppenheimer's made 47 million, and this is as of this weekend, I should say. And Haunted Mansion, I had 25 million this weekend. So they've done very well for a second weekend run, and it looks like it's even pushing out Haunted Mansion a little bit. And again, Haunted Mansion was fun. I enjoyed it. It was better than the one that Eddie Murphy did a few years ago. If you ever saw that, it was not that crash on, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Actually, going back to Secret Invasion just for a second here, because I put this in the wrong thing. This was the episode ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Wow,
episode one
13%.
is
That's
52, drops down to 50, drops down to 38, 38, goes up for episode five, but then it drops to 13%. That may have changed now already, but that's about right. I mean, that's like the lowest rated MCU show to date. So it's just it's a pity. It was a pity. Um, yeah. And then on top of it, what else is there? Uh, wait, so that. Jumping into Star Wars for a bit. So some photos turned up on online of a new set that was built for a
Hmm.
new Star Wars show. This is over in England, so I don't know whether this has got something to do with Andor or whether it's a different show altogether. But it seems like they're building set pieces for other Star Wars shows that people are not aware of, which is like, okay, that's kind of cool. Um, Also, this week, the original showrunner for Lando was not too sure with what's going on with the show itself, so he says. Um, so we don't know what's happening there. But then the same week, we end up getting a text from Donald Glover who says that he and his brother are going to be writing the Lando series. So it sounds like Lando is still going to happen. Just don't know when or how. Well, I mean, but then they couldn't be writing it anyway because technically they couldn't write that sort of stuff right now because of the writers' strike going on. So I don't know
By the time they
how
do
it's
it,
going
he's
to.
going to be older than he
He'll
was
be
in
Billy D.
Cloud City.
Williams. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
be
Yeah,
older than Billy D. Williams. You're
he'll
like,
be older
okay,
than Billy
well,
D. Williams. Yeah,
now you're older than he was
yeah,
in Cloud the first time we saw him. So now what are you going to do?
yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, it's
Actually, I
like
bet they're about the same age already right now. I have to think about it.
probably
Like,
yeah,
let's be like
yeah.
go and
Because
see how
Billy D
old
was
Billy D. Williams was
40. He was 40 when he
when he
did Empire
did
Strikes
Empire
Back.
Strikes Back.
He was 40 when he did Empire Strikes
40?
Back. I read. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, 40.
That
Yeah,
seems
I know.
that
No,
seems.
no, he was 40. He's 82 now, 83 or something like that. 80 something. Yeah,
But still, I'm whatever. I'm 44. How old is Donald Glover?
I have no idea how
I
old he
bet he's
is.
like he's got to
I
be
think he's in his
close
30s
to
or something.
40.
Huh?
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check it out. I'm pretty sure he's like in his mid 30s, like 36, 37. Donald Glover. That's a wild guess. Either way, it sounds like the Lando series is moving forward in some form or fashion. The showrunner said he doesn't know what's going on, and then he's contradicted by Donald Glover
He's
like the same
39.
week.
He's 39 right
39.
now.
Okay, all right, okay. So
Yeah.
in that case, yeah,
So
he's
he's
the
about
same
to
age
be
as Billy D.
he's about to
Yeah,
be as old as
yeah,
Billy D.
yeah. Hang on. Type in again because I'm pretty sure Billy D was 40.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Yeah. Um,
Could Billy D be in it? He could be
oh
his
yeah. In
grandpa.
fact, oh no no. Billy D. Williams has actually also texted this week as well, and he said something cool is coming. That's all he said. So it seems like he might be attached to this, and it might be definitely doing flashbacks if he's still around in the next year or so.
I think he's
He'll
just
be.
meaning that he's going to do Colt 45 commercials. That's what he's saying is cool.
I don't know. He said something cool is coming, and he couldn't. Okay, Billy D. Williams is 86 years old now. So wow, he's 86. Yeah, he was 40 when
86.
Empire Strikes Back.
Well,
1945, 42 actually, technically. No, wait, maybe not. 35. I go something like that. Anyway, wait. Born in 1945, 45 to 1980. He was 35. Okay, my bad. All right, maybe it was Return of the Jedi. He was 40. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then other things.
well,
We did.
right.
They dropped.
Chris,
They
Donald Glover's older than he is, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they did drop the air dates for Ahsoka, uh, which is 2 episodes on August 23rd, and then it continues through to October the 4th. So that's kind of cool. And then yeah, the one other thing I wanted to go over and touch base with was that the other big thing that Hasbro Pulse have been doing is they've been putting up the HasLab of the Ghost, which is Hera Syndulla's ship from Ahsoka, well, from Rebels, and we're seeing it live action in Ahsoka, more or less. We also saw it in like Rogue One as well. But this ship here is the biggest Star Wars toy ever made. It's going to be over. It's about 34 inches long by 28
Wait a
inches
minute,
wide and
bigger than
13
the
inches
sail
tall.
barge that they made?
Bigger
That's
in the sense
bigger
of
than the
width
scale.
and height. Actually, I don't know how long the sail barge. The sail barge is probably
That sail
longer.
barge was huge because I saw
Yeah,
that and it was longer.
yeah. No, the sail
It's got
barge
to
is
be
probably
over
long.
34 inches.
Yeah, well, this is saying it's over 34 inches long, but this is well, this they're claiming it's bigger than the other. It's probably bigger in the sense of its width, because this is like
Oh,
28 inches by 34 by 13 inches. So it's quite a big ship. Anyway, within 3 days, they made their backers, the backing of it, uh, which was 8,000 backers, ended up by getting completed. So now they're definitely going ahead with the construction of this. And from what I saw here, it's going to take, they're going to release it in fall of next year, the fall of next year in 2024. So, you know, I'm I am
nice.
backing it. It's going to be a big chunk of change. It's a $500 item, but I really want that ship. I want that ship. But anyway, that's it's cool. It's a good one. It's going to be a cool one. I've shied away from the 3 3/4 figure line for a while, and I've only been going with the 12-inch figures, and now the Micro Galaxy Squadron size figures. I've gone really big and really tiny, and nothing in between. All right. Yeah. Any other news you can think of that came up during the week that you read or saw? Because we're kind of pretty
Now
short
I'm
of
going blank.
bits and
I
pieces.
was thinking of
Mm.
a few things and now my mind's
Oh
gone.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, it's again, this is a collection of news over the last 2 weeks. It's gone back to being pretty quiet in the news. There hasn't been a lot going on. We still have, we've got Ahsoka dropping in less than a month's time now, so we'll be doing reaction videos to that. And then, yeah, after that, I don't know. I guess Loki then comes up as well. Actually, when was Loki coming out? Loki comes out.
Oh yeah, is that starting before?
Loki's October 6th. So,
Oh, right after, or like
yeah. Actually,
before that
wait a
ends.
minute. October
One day
6th is when
before it
Loki
ends.
comes in. Wait, Loki comes out
I think it
October
ended on the
6th.
7th or 8th.
Wait, wrong one.
You just showed
Ahsoka.
it ended.
October
Okay, 2
4th.
days
Wait a
afterwards.
minute. What day is October 4th then? That's weird. It comes
What
out two
day?
days. Yeah, wait. Okay, no, that's weird. October 4th is a Wednesday. Oh, which means October 6th is a Friday. They're actually releasing Loki on the Friday.
Hmm.
Interesting. If it keeps up in that thing. It's weird that they just, like, they've got this whole period of time where there's nothing going on for a whole month. You'd think they'd start some of these shows, like, a little bit earlier. Anyway,
Yeah.
so if this date still stands, Loki comes out October 6th, which is a Friday. I wonder if that'll jump then to Wednesdays or not. Who knows? I don't know. I don't like both shows on the same day anyway. I'd rather have them separated
No.
between
Yes.
Wednesday and
Please don't do
Fridays.
that.
Yeah, yeah, between Star Wars and Marvel. But again, it's like I'm losing less interest in Marvel after Loki. We'll kind of question whether we continue to react to some of these episodes because I feel like we're doing Mystery
It's
Science
gonna be weird
3000.
if DC steals all the hype after this Superman movie. Like, if that's really good,
Yeah,
if it's really good, then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, we're moving to DC. Now we care about DC."
it could be. I mean, you
And
don't
Marvel's
know.
gonna get left in the dust or whatever. Marvel's gonna be like, "Hey,
It
remember
could.
us?"
Maybe it shifts that way. Maybe everybody's just superheroed out in general and
I
won't
could see
react
that
as well.
too, but
Hmm.
also like the
Yeah,
quality's not there and it's not as
yeah,
engaging as they were. And
yeah,
Marvel really did have a full on, they
yeah,
accomplished all the movies and having, all the
right,
Avengers and the Endgame, all that stuff. Like
yeah,
that all worked. All of those movies worked
yeah,
until they came to the final end of it.
hmm,
So it'd
yeah,
be nice to see actually DC pull that off with a bunch of characters and have
yeah,
like 10, 15 years of
yeah,
movies out of it. But
yeah,
who knows?
perhaps. But yes, I am getting tired of superhero movies and shows. It just, yeah, I feel like we all need a break, um, kind of thing. So
Ooh,
yeah, it looks like we've got some. Okay, there we go. All
was
right.
that fake?
Yeah, I don't know. Something just jumped in the chat that shouldn't be there. So it's like, okay, just probably a bot or something. All right. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far in, thanks for checking it out. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll be on Jason's channel on Wednesday evening on his Twitch channel, probably talking about more AI related stuff. And then next week, next Sunday, we'll pick up on the latest whatever news is during the week and whatever films have come out. We'll talk about. And apart from that, yeah, we will catch you later. Thanks, Elijah. We will catch you guys all later. All right.